Good evening and welcome in everybody to the Fowler Kia Pregame Show here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Dante Lechuga alongside Carly Evans, and we're coming to you live from the Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium, ready to go tonight as your Golden Eagles kick off the season against the defending state champion, the Broomfield Eagles. Carly, it's going to be an uphill climb for the Golden Eagles, but Frederick is ready to fly.
Uphill climb is kind of an understatement, honestly. I couldn't have said it better myself. Looking at what happened last season, Frederick was sitting at 8-4, and Broomfield went on to win the 4A state championship over Montrose, sitting at 13-1 on the season. The last time these two teams face off to, Broomfield absolutely pummeled the Golden Eagles, which was definitely a devastating loss. It was 20-44, so pummeled is an understatement in itself. The Golden Eagles really struggled to do much of anything, regardless on, whether offense or defense, and their lack of reliability of kicker ended up hurting them in the end, as did most of the games last season. They managed to falter the Eagles in the fourth quarter, but they only scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Kind of focusing in now on Gavin Ishmael, the man this channel has come to adore due to his natural athleticism. He struggled this game to string together completions. Yard-wise, he was sitting a little bit above 200 yards total. I think 220 is what I read last time these two teams face off. But, an equal 2 touchdowns to 2 interceptions.
Absolutely, Carly. As the Fowler Pregame Show is the place where we will set the stage for everything you're about to see. We'll break down the keys to the game, highlight some other players to watch, and get you ready for kickoff under the Friday Night Lights. Speaking of keys, Carly, what are your keys to winning this football game?
Well, the very first key that I have is standing strong against the 4H champs, kind of what I already touched on. This is going to be quite the game for Frederick. Broomfield, with a championship under their belt just last season, this is going to be something that Frederick has to keep in mind. It's just standing strong and making sure to kind of keep an eye out for that run game. A fresh roster, too, is my second one. Looking at, we have quite a few new names, and not only that, but for Broomfield as well, the Eagles have almost an entirely new roster. They've lost quite a few seniors going into this new season. So that'll definitely kind of sway the game as we speak. Last one is PK's promise. I got the chance to speak with Preston Kissinger before the game, our new starting quarterback for this season. He knows the shoes he has to fill are going to be large, just based off of the demand of this Frederick team. But he's ready, and it's what he's been anticipating for the longest time. All his teammates have full faith and affirmation in him, and they're ready to see what he can do.
Absolutely, Carly. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Fowler Automotive. From sales to service, Fowler is proud to keep you moving and to support our community schools. Fowler Automotive, driven by integrity, powered by you. It's football time in Broomfield. You've been watching the Fowler Kia Pregame Show on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
The following is a presentation of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
And we're back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Dante Lechuga alongside Carly Evans. As Broomfield, 2 early run plays to start the game. That looks like something we're going to see a lot today.
Oh, Dante, there have been a lot of understatements already here early on in this game. This one is going to be the biggest. I got the chance to talk pregame with Sonny Del Pitts. Sonny says that kind of based off of prior film that they've seen watching this team, he knows they're going to pretty much run it the majority of the time.
Marilat's going to toss it to the right for a pickup about 2 yards. That'll be enough for a first down, I believe.
Broomfield already able to... I don't think they converted. It'll be 4th and 2. So falling short of the marker already early on. A solid stop on defense. Granted, Broomfield not shying away from possibly the challenge of going for it early on, as they will stay lined up.
4th and 2, Marilat. He'll be in the pistol. Here's the snap, handoff up the middle. Frederick's defense is there. And he's still going. My apologies, looked like he went down. That's going to be a big play for Broomfield. First down and more. Broomfield's rolling on their first drive of the game.
Frederick's defensive line, kind of as Dante put it, looked like they stopped him there for a minute, pretty much right on the line of scrimmage, but he was able to pull forward regardless of that. And able to convert early on. Ball already on the 42. They are moving.
Marilat the junior quarterback. Season debut, first time starting a game. We'll see how poised he looks tonight. Marilat drops back, pump faking. He's going to go deep. That'll be incomplete.
Already early on, looks like DJ Swaldo was on the coverage. And, you know, it was man-to-man coverage, which is an interesting look. I think they already know that he was going to throw it on that play. So good look from Frederick defensively to kind of sniff that play out before anything happened.
2nd and 10. Marilat getting the signal. Got a man behind him. One receiver all alone on that left side. Gonna motion the running back. Play action. Marilat fires. It's caught. And he will be wrapped up after about an 8-yard gain. That is Sean Newton, the big receiver, big X-receiver. Marilat is looking very poised. This is a different look we've seen from Broomfield. They have not been scared to throw this football early.
No, they really haven't, which it's funny because we really put the emphasis on them, you know, just handing the ball off early on and possibly later into the game just to kind of run down Frederick's defense. They're not running them down. They are taking risks early on.
Marilat misdirection toss to the left side. That will be Karsten Bushy. He'll pick up a couple.
Looked like knee was down, which Frederick, though, eager to jump on the ball. Obviously, the kind of antsy defense that you want to see from Frederick early on. Poised and ready for anything to happen. Broomfield already edging into Golden Eagle territory. Ball on, I believe, the 48-yard line. So slowly but surely, Marilat making his debut drive. And as Dante put it, he is poised in the pocket.
Marilat gonna hand it off right up the middle. That's what we like to see from the Broomfield offense. Or excuse me, that's what we're gonna see from the Broomfield offense a lot of tonight.
Yeah, just right down the middle, just a handoff. Nothing much happened. I mean, this will lead to a 2nd and 10. So no yardage gained. Ball will stay same place it was. Never mind, they moved it.
2nd and 4 here for Marilat. He's going to go shotgun again. He's got 4 wide. Frederick showing blitz. We'll see if they're bluffing. They aren't. Hoagie's going to get in the backfield, making Marilat scramble. Wrapped up, balls on the ground. And it looks like it's Golden Eagle football.
Fumble. Completely slipped right out of Marilat's hands. He just didn't have good control. I think he was expecting the blitz, but he wasn't expecting it directly from the A-gap. They took it, and my goodness, Frederick Golden Eagles already showing defensively that they are ready for this game. They don't want the same results as last season.
Cole Hoagie came screaming in from a blitz. The risky play call plays off. Golden Eagles will take over as we're going to take our first look at Preston Kissinger, senior quarterback, first start in his high school career.
Yeah, Kissinger, he had the opportunity to play a little bit last season, so he already has a little bit of experience, obviously, on the field. And, you know, I believe he played for, I want to say he played for both the Skyline and Silver Creek game last year. So he's got some plays under his belt. He knows what he's doing, but honestly, the pressure is elevated that much more whenever you're starting.
Kissinger's going to motion a man. Toss, left side, making a cut up the middle, and he is met by the enormous Broomfield line, one of the biggest you will see in the state.
I believe that was Salazar who got wrapped up right in the middle of the field. Broomfield able to sniff it out early on before anything happened. They really aren't falling for anything that Frederick was trying. In Frederick's game plan, they're pretty much doing the exact same that we thought Broomfield was going to do, except Broomfield is taking a few more risks than I believe Frederick is going to. They have complete faith in Kissinger, but really their game plan for this game at least, and probably for most of the season, is going to be to run it.
Kissinger's going to hand it off again to Salazar. He breaks one tackle. He'll spin around for a couple more yards. Salazar, who's actually coming off a broken ankle from last year. We were really sad to see him go down last year. He was having a great year. Hopefully he's going to have a bounce back recovery year here, as that is one big running back we have.
100%. And I mean, Salazar dancing around in the backfield to try and find separation from the defensive line. As you put it, Broomfield's defensive line is massive. We can pretty much see it directly from here. Not that our O-line is scrawny by any means, but they have some big guys out there.
Salmaron had to sub in for Salazar there due to Salazar's helmet falling off. Kissinger's going to keep it himself. Quarterback keeper. Broomfield's going to push the line back. We'll see how the refs spot it. And looks like they're going to move the chains. First down, Golden Eagles.
Kissinger able to just do it himself. Running right up the middle, QB scramble.
Still no pass play. A little bit what we expected. Going to kind of let Kissinger ease into it. Ease into this football game. We'll see if he gets his first shot here on 1st and 10.
Honestly, I think you have to take some risks here this first game. I know that they're trying to play it as safe as they possibly can, but you have to see what Kissinger is capable of, especially with this amount of pressure that's being put on him. As I said earlier, that elevated pressure from this game.
Kissinger, shotgun. It's going to be a misdirection toss. That's Salmaron. Salmaron making cuts. Salmaron fighting, driving those legs. He's going to be dragged down. Not after a good fight. That'll pick up 6 yards.
Good play design from Kissinger. Kind of read that misdirection seems to be working best for them. They swung Del Pitts out to the right. Del Pitts kind of threw them off. I think they weren't sure if perhaps it was going to be a pass, because I feel like at any point in time, Kissinger could swap to a pass, especially he has, quite a few reps now under his belt early on in this game.
Kissinger tossed to Del Pitts. Sonny Del Pitts trying to make a cut, but he is tackled from behind. That Broomfield defense is all over it right now.
Del Pitts, you could tell a little bit of frustration when he got up, kind of biting back his nerves for sure, as whenever Del Pitts is kind of let loose into the open field, he lets it rip. And right there, you could tell he was stopped right before anything big happened, and this is a huge 3rd down early on for the Golden Eagles with about 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Kissinger, 3rd and 4. If they don't get here, it'll definitely be decision time here for the Frederick coaching staff. Kissinger's going to go under center. Motion a man. He's going to go right back to his spot. Toss, Salazar. Salazar makes a cut up the middle. Cody Salazar trying to knife his way through. And looks like he's not going to have enough. So it's already getting physical out there, Carly. I saw Norwood and the Broomfield DB get thrown to the ground together. It's already getting a little bit chippy out there.
Honestly, doesn't surprise me. As you put it, this is a huge play call for the Frederick coaching department, as this is 4th and 3. Clock still running. Frederick, this is decision time. Broomfield took the antsy route. They went for it. They converted, but just barely coughed it up. Frederick, I think they know what they have to do. Kissinger in the backfield.
Big 4th down, Preston Kissinger. Going to be a direct toss to Salazar, and he's going to hand off to Del Pitts. Sonny Del Pitts, 1st down and more. What a trick play. Sonny Del Pitts breaks the tackle. He's finally swung out of bounds. And it looks like Reno Waldo did not like that late hit. Reno pushed the Broomfield DB out of bounds.
Yeah, that'll penalize them early on. I mean, Waldo, it's one of those where we talked pregame even before Dante, and just kind of about that whole mentality that they are a team, and these are the brothers that you play with. This is your family. So as soon as you see something kind of amiss in your eyes, you take action. You're not going to shy away from it. But beautiful play call from Kissinger and Del Pitts. Del Pitts able to swing out wide, tiptoe his way along the sideline.
Frederick stands. Parents and students are starting to get into this game, trying to get loud over there on this little sideline. Kissinger, shotgun. Salazar's going to be in the backfield with him. Direct snap, Kissinger going to keep. And he's met by a couple of Broomfield Eagles. And Kissinger will be lucky to get back to the line, I believe. Looks like they are going to give him a yard. 2nd and 9 here for the Golden Eagles.
All right, so a little bit of something. It was hard to tell there for a minute. I mean, they sniffed Kissinger out before really anything happened. Kissinger pretty much met at the line, as Lechuga said.
Second 9 here for the Golden Eagles. Still yet to have thrown the ball.
I mean, it has to be coming up soon. You're in territory where you kind of need to. I mean, you're in red zone territory. Sometimes you gotta get a little out there.
Kissinger, here we go, roll out. He's gonna throw, and it's tipped in the air, but it's actually, it looked like it was caught. Intended target was Connor Betancourt.
I thought Betancourt had possession there for a minute. Both me and Dante's hands flew up in surprise, but looks like ball fell. That'll be an incompletion, 3rd and 9. If that previous third down hadn't been big enough, this one is triple that.
Every Golden Eagle fan just held their breath right there, Carly, seeing that ball tip in the air.
I mean, one of their defenders, it was one of their cornerbacks, I believe, he absolutely launched himself in the air. I got worried there for a minute that the tip would result in a pick.
Kissinger all alone in the shotgun. He's going to motion Salazar. Kissinger's going to throw again, and he is smacked from his blind side. That was a linebacker blitz coming out on Kissinger's blind side. Kissinger took quite the hit, but he popped right back up.
Gavin Beansel on the absolute decimation of Kissinger from the backfield. Kissinger didn't even see it, came flying across the line.
And we'll send out Mr. Bigfoot Cahoon out to kick a field goal. The lefty.
Finally, we have a kicker.
The sophomore kicker. His kick will go through the uprights as Frederick Golden Eagles up 3-0 start this game.
And that is a different feeling, honestly, to have a reliable kicker.
As we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. And welcome in, everybody, back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name's Dante Lechuga. You guys know I'm alongside here with Carly Evans. Golden Eagles just capped off a drive. They capitalized on the turnover by Marilat. He was met in the backfield by Colt Hoagie for a fumble. Golden Eagles lead 3-0 as Bigfoot Cahoon is set to kick off here back to the Broomfield offense.
Yeah, you know, something that I'm kind of worried about just based on early on. Never mind. This is what I'm worried about.
Is starting to return it. He might be gone, folks. One man to beat. That's a touchdown for Broomfield. They answer right back. Broomfield will take the lead with that kick return.
Forget a clapback. That was silencing Khalil Benner on the return. And my goodness, what a return. I want to say at least 90 yards.
Yeah, Khalil Benner went untouched that entire return.
And there was a certain point in time where he tiptoed along the sideline. I thought someone was surely going to catch his ankles or something, you know, shoelace tackle him, but there was absolutely nothing, no pressure on that return. He was able to ease his way in those last 10 yards.
And just like that, the Frederick momentum, the little momentum we just had is all the way with that kick return touchdown.
What an answer from Broomfield early on. Took them not even half a minute to respond. And what a response.
Broomfield's going to go for 2. They'll be short, so we'll stay at 6-3, so Frederick could tie this game up or potentially take the lead with this next drive.
The nice thing about stopping them on the 2-point conversion is it is a little bit of momentum for Frederick whenever you think in terms of what just happened, to kind of put the foot down a little bit and say, hey, we're not going to allow this to happen. It is kind of unfortunate to see Frederick have something like this happen early on, as it looks like they did give them the 2-point conversion.
It looked like he was well short.
It looked like he was at least 3 or 4 yards short.
Huh. I mean, we do have a really bad angle, Carly.
We do. That is true. For those of you who don't have context, which is everybody watching, for this game, we are currently sitting by the bathrooms, and we have a great vantage point of the percussion instruments and the back of the goalpost. So, not the most incredible angle to go from. So our apologies with that 2-point conversion.
Del Pitts, the electric senior, will be back to return this kickoff. Looking to respond. Maybe we'll get a kickoff return of our own. Who knows? This Broomfield Rowdy crowd is rocking.
I mean, with Del Pitts, anything is possible. He's quite the stocky player. He's hard to see in a sea of bodies, too, which kind of plays to his advantage, especially on a kick return. Sometimes it's hard to track him down, and we've seen that happen before.
Here is the kickoff. Marchie will boot it. Del Pitts, he's going to return this. No, it went past the goal line. Rule is if it goes over the goal line here in high school football in Colorado, it will be automatically set to the 20-yard line. And that's where Preston Kissinger will take over. Second drive of the senior quarterback's career.
Dante, how are we feeling about that first look about PK? Honestly, I thought he was pretty poised, honestly, in the pocket. I think he has to watch those blind sides. There were multiple instances where someone would come screaming in from, the line and just absolutely decimate him from the backfield, which unfortunate because you don't necessarily want him to get injured, especially early on in the season. First game, got to be cautious. But I thought he was pretty poised in the pocket.
I was most impressed with how he took that hit. He popped right back up.
Yes, he did.
Here he is right now, a lot of motion to start this drive. Kissinger, shotgun. Direct snap to Salazar. Salazar's going to fake the pitch to Pressinger, and he is met by a wall of Eagles. That will go nowhere. It'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Frederick Golden Eagles. And honestly, we really might have to start throwing the football to spread this defense out a little bit.
Honestly, they are completely anticipating this as Gavin Beansel once again on the tackle right against that line of scrimmage. Yeah, Dante, I don't think really much of anything drive-wise is going to be stitched together if we don't let PK throw it, at least to see what he has potential-wise, as looks like they might go that route.
Kissinger is going to go shotgun again. He's going to roll to his left. It's going to be a speed option to Salazar. Salazar's wrapped up. That won't go much for either. That won't go for much either, excuse me. Very slow start to the rushing game so far tonight. It'll be 3rd and long here for the Golden Eagles.
Salazar not pleased with that effort. I mean, he had plenty of room. It was just a matter of he got swallowed up. Nobody over there blocking. Obviously had Del Pitts over there, but Del Pitts kind of got faked.
3rd and 10 on our own 20. Kissinger, he's going to have 2 to his left. He's going to have Deejus Waldo all around on that right side. Kissinger drops back. He's going to throw a little bubble screen left side. Salmeron trying to break a tackle. Or excuse me, looks like that's Betancourt. I'm starting to get the number 8 and 0 mixed up, but that'll not be enough as it was Betancourt. Be 4th and 7. Frederick is going to have to punt this ball away.
Betancourt, I totally understand where PK was coming from with that whole trustiness in your tight end. You see a lot of times whenever there's really no one else to go to and you don't necessarily want to chunk it deep with your wide receivers, you'll tend to lean on those tight ends, where they kind of play those middle routes. But it was one of those where Betancourt had no separation whatsoever. Broomfield's defense able to sniff it out, probably the fastest we've seen tonight. Faster than some of those run plays.
And that'll be a timeout on the field, or excuse me, end of first quarter. Sorry about that. As I'm going to take this time to shout out FHS Booster Club for supporting our broadcast. Frederick High School. Booster Club carries on the long tradition of supporting the students of this community. The purpose of Booster Club is to provide the funding and manpower for the homecoming tailgate celebration, the after-prom party, grants to student groups and clubs, as well as scholarships to graduating seniors. We're always looking for parent volunteers, so if you're interested in becoming involved, we would invite you to reach out through our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us or attend our next meeting in the FHS Library. If you're wanting to be more involved in the community and have a desire to do something that benefits the students of our community, we'd love to hear from you. Again, please visit our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us if you'd like to get involved. We welcome any supporters, not just parents. The FHS Booster Club is a proud partner of the GBN.
I was about to say, after after that drive stalling out. Really unfortunate, honestly, to see. It's one of those where PK has potential. I just feel like they're not allowing him to really use his full assets. At least early on. Dante, you did mention early on, which I did kind of like what you said, where it's that whole like adjustment period where, yes, you've been giving your all during practice, but it's not the same as the real live game, as that kick was not the greatest.
It looked like it got tipped, or they were really close to blocking it, so I wouldn't be shocked if it was.
What was that say?
Cahoon's punt won't go too far due to that. And out trots back the Broomfield offense, who was actually just bailed out by return to make it 8-3. And here comes Marilat.
Marilat, our first look at him. As you said, it's his debut, correct?
Correct.
Perfect.
It is. His first time starting.
Okay,
he has gotten reps before.
Yep.
This will be his first time ever
so
starting.
PK and Marilat are kind of in a similar boat, honestly. Marilat, though, I believe a year younger than him. Junior. Yep.
Yeah. He's going to motion. Marilat's going to hand it off to that right side, and he's going to break a tackle. Looked like that was Gonzalez who went for the ankle bite in the backfield, just couldn't quite hang on. He'll pick up a couple.
Gonzalez attempted shoelace tackle. It's one of those where the runner bounced around to the outside trying to find any separation. I did appreciate how Frederick was pretty much all over him, clobbering him until the moment that they were able to kind of pin him onto the sideline and force him out. But it's one of those where if you can't get him by the first or second tackle, I don't know, you might be doing something wrong.
Benner in the motion. Marilat's going to toss it to him, and he's met in the backfield. Colt Hoagie. Second big play coming in from Hoagie early in this game. He's looking to have himself quite a night.
Hoagie already early on. As Dante put it, he's going to have quite the night if he continues this streak. Already heard him, as Dante put it, screaming in the backfield multiple times on these plays. Marilat feeling the pressure.
Marilat 3rd and 8. Bunch set. Benner in the backfield again. He's going to motion again. Marilat drops back, looking to throw. It's caught, but there's a flag on the field. We'll see if this gets brought back. If not, that'll definitely be a first down for Broomfield. Gavin Montoya on the reception.
Montoya able to snag it in the air from that slants route right down the middle of the field. I couldn't tell if maybe there was some tugging. I can't tell if it was on Frederick or if it was on Broomfield.
And looks like they picked that flag back up.
So 1st and 10 now. They are currently in red zone territory already.
Maybe not. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Refs are having some chatter in front of the Broomfield and Frederick line, and it looks like they are going to call a penalty on Broomfield. I believe it was a holding. Frederick's D-line has actually done a great job at pressuring Marilat. Looks like it caused Broomfield to tug a little bit. That's going to back him up big time. It'll be 3rd and 10 here for Marilat.
3rd and 10. So kind of reverting the play that they just completed with Gavin Montoya. Montoya, it was a good look, though. I do have to say, he got some significant separation. I can't tell who's over there defending him. Looks like...
It will be 3rd and 18. I was right.
3rd and 18.
I was a little confused. Marilat drops back. He's going to take off. There goes Marilat. Marilat, a lot of room, and he's going to pick up the first down. That is not what Frederick needed there. 3rd and long. You cannot let that up.
Marilat, he had tons of separation over on that left side of the field. Honestly, as Dante put it, you really can't have something like that happen, especially in a moment where you need to not let Broomfield convert. Broomfield converted with ease. He pretty much walked with a swagger along that sideline. He wasn't even really pressured, honestly.
Marilat has Jansen in the backfield with him. He's going to take the snap. One step drop. He's going to fire that right side. Little curl route will be caught.
DeGisualdo able to yank him by the shoelaces. Force it now for a 2nd and 7. So a few yards to gain.
Marilat looking for the signal from his coaching staff. Marilat's going to go shotgun. Has twins left, or four wide, excuse me.
He has options.
He's going to have Jansen in the backfield with him again. He's going to take the snap, drops back, fires. Marilat's dropped. Almost intercepted. That was number 15, Jathiel Gonzalez. Went right through his hands. Got a little too excited on that one.
Gonzalez, what a look, though. Able to read the play and jump in front of the route. I bet it's putting quite a bit of pressure back on Marilat. I know we talked about how the defensive line is kind of pressuring him, and even those blitzes with some of those safeties and linebackers, they're starting to feel it a little bit more. Marilat, though, we'll see what he can make of this.
Marilat in the pistol. He's going to do a little reverse to the right side. He's got a lot of room down that right sideline. That'll be a touchdown. Broomfield Eagles, number 8, Nathan Arenado.
Arenado able to just bounce around to that outside. Swung out right. And kind of devastating, honestly, for Frederick, as now the Broomfield Eagles lead 14-3. Golden Eagles have kind of been silenced, especially that past drive that PK led and then was stopped on that third down.
Carly, a whole new look from Broomfield. They've been throwing it almost more than they've been running it this game, and that's something we have not seen from them, especially last year, as their two-point conversion will be good. 16-3. Early lead for the Broomfield Eagles. Frederick's going to need a score in this next possession.
And this is an early significant lead, too. I mean, you still have about 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Although it's plenty of time for Frederick to kind of make something happen, I feel like they aren't reading what Broomfield's doing because they're almost stuck on what they watched film-wise last season. Because, I mean, whenever I was talking with Del Pitts, he did say that they were kind of open option-wise to what they were anticipating from Broomfield, but he did kind of reiterate the whole running scheme and how he knew that that was going to be something that was significant in Broomfield's offensive playbook. But it looks like they've completely done a 180, and Marilat's impressive, honestly.
I mean, that's the name of the game, you know. First game of the season, you don't really get to see much, so you're going to have to go based off of what happened last year, what they did last year, but a whole new scheme here for Broomfield early.
Yeah, it's a lot of guesswork from Frederick's defense. They've been very excellent, I do have to say, at pressuring Marilat in the backfield. You know, Hoagie with some of those big-time plays in the backfield, that sack. And then obviously that pressure with Marilat causing him to fumble it. Obviously, they are putting pressure on him. It's just a matter of making it consistent, because right now it's very hit or miss. And Broomfield's offensive linemen definitely don't like seeing Marilat pressured.
Del Pitts back to return. And that'll go through the end zone once again. Frederick going to start at the 20-yard line. Kissinger, we're definitely going to have to let him throw the ball. I would like to see us get Kissinger off a short leash right now. Right now I feel like he's on a really short leash, and I don't think he deserves that. I think Kissinger has solid arm talent. He really does, and I think we should let him go.
Well, and even watching him warm up, which I know warm-ups don't necessarily say anything about how someone plays in the game itself. Those are two very different things and very different elements. But it's one of those where even watching him now, I just feel like he's antsy because he's almost not getting what he wants out of the play. I kind of see what you mean, where there's that whole short leash. They really have him pretty much chained.
Frederick flips the play, direct snap to Salazar, and that's just going nowhere. Frederick's trying to get a little trickery with it. It's just not doing much.
Frederick, their trickery early on worked. We saw Del Pitts swinging out to the right quite a bit. It seemed to be effective, but even now, as I'm watching Broomfield, they almost don't even seem fazed by what Frederick is deciding to run. They've been very much consistently running right through that middle, or at least attempting to. It hasn't paid off the past 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times. It's been consistent struggle.
Going to flip sides again. Kissinger going to take the snap flag on the play. It's going to be a false start on Frederick. Back us up. 2nd and 15.
And those penalties are some of the biggest things that can hurt your offense. You know, if PK gets some momentum going, that's perfect. But things like that almost kind of stunt it. And that's exactly what we don't want, especially trailing 16 or 3 to 16. It's already a significant gap early on. Now you're looking at a second and long. Preston, I want to see him launch a deep ball.
Why not?
Exactly. What do you have to lose right now, honestly?
Kissinger shotgun. Motion Salazar. Salazar acted like it went over his head. And once again, the trick play is just going nowhere. Del Pitt stays on his feet. He's frustrated. It's going to be 3rd and 15.
My biggest thing, too, is let your receivers receive. I mean, it's literally in their name. Give them the opportunities that they deserve. I just feel like there's been a lot of blocking, obviously, since they've had so many run plays. But it's one of those where let them kind of do what they want. I don't know, throw in a slant route, do a little something different, spice it up. Let PK throw it.
Kissinger going to drop back. He's going to fire. That's caught. Won't be enough, it looks like. That was caught by Del Pitts.
Del Pitt's able to find separation from his defender in the middle of the field. One thing that I do have to say Broomfield is doing an excellent job on is guarding their man. They really are doing wonderful. They've thrown in quite a few zone coverages early on, which I do find interesting. But it's one of those where I feel like they know they've been running it so much. So they're just kind of unperturbed by anything that's happening.
The Golden Eagles are going to stay on offense, or stay out there, excuse me, for 4th and 1. And why not? You're down 2 touchdowns already. 4th and 1, Kissinger's under center.
Just don't pull a Cowboys.
Motion, Del Pitts. Del Pitts acts like it goes over his head. They've done that a couple times already.
Broomfield saying they stopped him.
Depends on the spot here. And it looks like they will give it to the Golden Eagles 1st down.
Impressive push, honestly, from the Golden Eagles. Like I said, they knew, obviously, that they were going to run right through that middle. D-line not able to stop them. Obviously, it is just a yard, so it's not necessarily anything too crazy, but it is nice to see them convert on something crucial.
Kissinger, 1st and 10. Big 4th down conversion right there. He's going to hand it off. Salazar. Salazar looking to go somewhere, and Broomfield defense has been all over these sweeps.
And it's unfortunate, too. It's one of those where, as we said, Salazar last season was injured for the majority of the season, so he couldn't play. And with his senior year, obviously this first game not proving to be what their run game wants it to be. Their running backs have been frustrated. Even watching Del Pitts, every time they hand it off to him or try to motion for a bubble screen, either the defenders haven't been there or we've seen almost this, I don't know, just this innate frustration. Because Broomfield's just been able to sniff it out so easily.
Kissinger under center. Toss, Del Pitts. Sonny Del Pitts is going to cut upfield. Sonny Del Pitts breaks a tackle. He's brought down by a couple of Eagles. And that will go for a good amount of yards. It'll be 3rd and short. As Frederick has yet to test these waters of this D-line. They have yet to go up the middle yet. This enormous D-line. We'll see when they decide to do that.
It'll be soon. I feel like for this play in particular, you're obviously down by multiple scores. The worst that can happen is you have to convert on a 4th down, which we've already seen them do the risk this drive. I say throw it. Let PK kind of do his thing.
Kissinger going to take it himself. Quarterback run is not going to be enough. He'll pick up a couple, and Broomfield has been really chippy to start this game. Golden Eagles are starting to get a little upset with how they're treating their quarterback.
Yeah, you could tell those O-linemen were not a fan of how they kind of threw him down to the ground. Obviously, with most things, it's not necessarily considered excessive force because obviously it's a tackle or whatever the case may be. But
Del Pitts looking for a seam as, excuse me, looked like the ref actually gave them the spot as they gained a 1st down. That won't go for much, though. 2nd and long here for Kissinger. They're going to hurry up. Kissinger will stay in the shotgun.
Kissinger, he's looking into the eyes of a familiar face right now, 2nd and long. We've seen that consistently with their 2nd and 3rd downs.
Kissinger fakes the toss, going to take himself up the middle. There goes Kissinger. And Kissinger's going to pick up a couple of runs. Kissinger not afraid to use his legs. He may not be the biggest dude out there, but he is pretty mobile.
He is pretty mobile. And, even talking to him a little bit and talking to some of the other players on the team, they mentioned his mobility is a big factor. And I think my favorite thing about talking to PK was the fact that he compared himself to Joe Burrow. He said that that's his role model. That's who he kind of wants to become, is an asset like Joe Burrow, where he does have that mobility, where he can use his legs, and he has the rocket of an arm. Someone who's just all around a solid, polished player.
Preston Kissinger is going to get the play call, 4th and 3 here for the Golden Eagles. They've converted on 1 already this drive, looking to go 2 for 2. DeJus Waldo's going to be all alone on that right side.
This one a little bit longer. Distance-wise, you're not only looking at a yard, you're looking at a few, and that can really make a big difference, as have to be careful with his motions.
Golden Eagles audibling.
You could probably get someone to jump, honestly, if you're really trying to.
Might try here. Motion, Del Pitts. We'll go back to spot. And Frederick looks like they took a timeout. Try to get him to jump off sides. They might end up just going for it anyway. We'll see what the decision is here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left.
100%. I do like the whole defensible offense type of play call, where it's almost like you recognize that there is a lot at stake, but it's one of those where, I don't know, throwing kind of a cheap shot. See if you can get any of them to jump off of that line.
As Rocky Church folks, would you like to meet an Olympian, connect with a D1 athlete, or talk with a Twitch streamer? Rocky Students is part of Rocky Church, and they are all about connecting students to their purpose. They believe students are the future, and their goal is to help you be empowered, encouraged, and supported. There are many ways to connect with Rocky students. You can start by watching their monthly podcast on YouTube, where you'll hear from guests on a multitude of topics. Show up on a Wednesday night, hang with friends, and meet some incredible guests.
As I always say, please do come check it out. I promise you, I'm there. It's fun.
Be sure to follow them on Instagram on RockyStudents_Frederick to learn more. As PK's throw's caught, Sonny Del Pitts runs over a man as he walks out of bounds. First down, Frederick. They are rolling.
Del Pitts fired up after that play. You could tell he needed that. It was almost like a breath of fresh air for him. He's one of those valuable assets where if you don't give him the ball, he's almost like he's constantly hungry. You know what I mean? It's like that whole Ezekiel Elliott feed me that he was, got very, very exhausting very quickly. But, I kind of can see a little bit of Zeke in Del Pitts, where it's almost like that I constantly need the food, which is the ball. And that's exactly what he needed.
Frederick looking to make this a one-score game. PK is going to keep it himself again. Preston Kissinger showing his toughness. He'll pick up a couple. Clock's ticking, 3.5 minutes left in this first half.
They have to be a little time cognizant, which is something that can be difficult sometimes. But it does look like they did run a few hurry-ups on that last piece of this drive. They've chewed a lot of clock with this drive too, Dante. I believe this drive has been going for quite a few minutes. I want to say since the 8-minute mark or so.
And that's the game plan. Keep the ball out of this Broomfield offense's hands, I believe, from what it seems.
Especially before half.
Kissinger, shotgun, direct snap. That's Salmeron. Salmeron's going to take it up the middle. He's met by 2 Broomfield Eagles, that enormous D-line, and they really are starting to test the D-line, and they don't seem too scared right now.
No, they really don't. And Salmeron, kind of a high snap to him, especially right up the middle. I feel like they were able to sniff it out really quickly just based on that.
A ton of direct snaps to start this game, Carly. And with that being said, they actually switched Loyd from being the OC to the DC, so that could be part of the cause of that.
100%. I was going to say, with coaching switches, that can definitely factor a lot into how teams play, obviously.
Kissinger, keeper, makes a man miss. There goes Preston Kissinger. First down and more. Preston Kissinger having himself a night on the ground.
He honestly is. I'm loving this mobility side. He's not shying away from the whole taking it himself, kind of turning those cogs, turning those wheels, if you will. And impressive, too. He was not afraid to hit that turf, as we've seen multiple times tonight.
Kissinger going to take it himself again. Kissinger. Man, I'll tell you, Kissinger's vision on these carries is actually pretty good.
100%. And I can see kind of where he's coming from. I especially like how he tends to take those more risky plays, or at least the coaches do, not necessarily just Kissinger. I do like how offensively they're almost taking those risky plays early on. Yes, they're not shying away from trying to complete a fourth down, especially whenever it's needed. But it's one of those where I can really appreciate just the whole, give Kissinger, if he wants to run it, let him run it.
2nd and 4, but we're going to have a timeout on the field. Believe the Golden Eagles call it. That'll be their second of the half. We got 1 remaining. Minute 30 here left in this half. United Power. Just a reminder that our broadcast is brought to you in part by United Power. At United Power, we're a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network and proud to power local sports and local schools. United Power, your local touchstone energy cooperative.
So now sitting at a crucial 2nd and 4. Obviously have a few plays to kind of mess around with, maybe toss it around a little bit. They do have to have almost a little pep in their step with that urgency piece sitting at a few scores behind, but they can definitely finish the half off strong if they're able to convert with this drive and capitalize with hopefully a touchdown, maybe a 2-point conversion, obviously with the reliability of Cahoon. That is positive for Frederick, and we will take that win. There is
Kissinger, shotgun, going to motion the whole team once again.
There is a minute 31, so something to be cognizant about.
High snap, going to toss it to Del Pitts. Del Pitts looking for a seam. Little misdirection play will go nowhere. They've done that play a couple times already. Broomfield really starting to sniff it out. The Golden Eagles can sniff the end zone.
Sniff it, they can. As you said, Del Pitts tried to find the seam. He found a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of green grass, but nothing much as it got swallowed up and stitched up pretty quickly. Now sitting at a crucial 3rd down. As I said, they don't shy away from taking some of those risky plays, especially during this drive. We've seen, what, already 2 4th down completions?
We have 2 4th down completions. Preston Kissinger looking like his idol Joe Cool with how calm he's been.
He honestly has been. I couldn't have said it better. He's doing a great job of representing his role model, that's for sure. It's taken a while to kind of figure out what they want to do, obviously, with this timeout. Have to really factor in a lot of things. Broomfield, they look ready.
3rd and 4 here. Golden Eagles are looking for the play call from their coaching staff. Not sure. Looks like the refs are discussing something. And Golden Eagles are going to take a timeout. Looks like they're just letting the clock tick a little bit in case they're just going to settle for a field goal here. But now they have no timeouts, so they're going to have to be quick with 30 seconds here left before halftime.
I mean, I see what the coaching staff is doing. It's pretty obvious. I mean, with the whole running the clock down, if for whatever reason they're not able to capitalize on this drive, let's say, I don't know, it's a field goal, which, you know, disappointing but still points. Or, you know, maybe it's not a touchdown, maybe it's a fumble or something. Obviously don't want to manifest it, knock on wood. But it's one of those, if something like that happens, you do kind of want to run that clock down, especially before something significant like half, because that can be the difference momentum-wise. If you give them time and if you don't give them time. Obviously, it does put a little bit more of a time crunch for our offense, though, which can play good or bad. It really just depends on how the pendulum swings, which right now it could go either way. But I have full faith in Preston Kissinger.
No timeouts left. 3rd and 4, 30 seconds left. They don't convert here. They're going to have to hustle out that field goal unit. I'm sure Kissinger's just going to take a shot at the end zone. No, he's not. He's going to toss it. Reno DeGiswaldo is met by a couple of Eagles. They've been all over, and now Frederick's going to have to hustle.
Yeah, DeGiswaldo, you could tell a little bit of disappointment as he ran out of there.
No. Looks like they had one more. Maybe Broomfield took a timeout and we didn't know. So Golden Eagles are going to have one timeout, and they take it with 21 seconds left here for halftime. DeGiswaldo's sweep goes nowhere.
Yeah, Broomfield coaches hustling their defense over there. honestly, don't blame them. This is a crucial last 21 seconds before this half hits. It is a 4th and 6, so 4th and goal. It's pretty demanding, honestly, with 21 seconds remaining. Frederick, I feel like this just elevates the pressure that much more, but it's one of those where I feel like you have to throw it in this situation. I understand where they're trying to go with some of these sweeps and some of these bubble screens, but honestly, Broomfield, they've been able to recognize them pretty much right off the bat, which has led to Frederick almost backtracking, losing progress. You got to trust PK.
Frederick going to settle for a field goal. Here's Cahoon, the lefty.
Honestly,
His
smart decision.
Kick is going to go right through the uprights. Golden Eagles get on the board. It'll be 6-16. Broomfield leads. They'll have 18 seconds to work with before halftime.
I thought it was very interesting. I think maybe there was a little bit of combative nature whenever it came to, do we go for it or do we not? But it's one of those where I understand where they're coming from settling for the field goal. Sometimes even the small steps make a big difference in the game itself. 18 seconds left. So
Can't
maybe
let up another kick return. That's
No,
for sure.
I know.
Not want to see that happen.
That is the one thing that I am a little worried about, is just based on when Broomfield has had motivation, it's been crucial moments like these where they just had these explosive plays. So can't let them do that. Don't let them return anything crazy.
Golden Eagles. Cahoon set to kick off. Carly, a little bit more flexibility from Kissinger on that drive.
100%. I really appreciated how the coaches kind of let him do his own thing, kind of lead the team, which is something that, talking to his teammates, that's something that they wanted to see from him, was that whole stepping up nature. And I feel like we saw it on that drive. Those first few drives, as Dante put it, kind of that leash. You could kind of feel it too. It was almost like he was kind of chained down, and it wasn't a great feeling, as almost muffed the punt, bobbled around a little bit.
Little squib kick action coming from Cahoon. Broomfield had a tough time fielding that. Looks like Marilat will take over at around the 31-yard line. He has 17 seconds to work with.
I feel like Broomfield, based on how the coaches are kind of speaking to them, I feel like they're not just going to knee it. They're not content with this separation of 10 points, I feel like.
Frederick defense going to have to hang on for 17 seconds. If they keep this up, they'll be down 2 scores going into halftime.
Yeah, down 2 scores. Obviously not something that you want going into this half, but it honestly could be much worse. But as with anything, it also could be much better. Yeah, it looks like Marilat is not content with the whole idea of kneeing this down.
Marilat, he wants to score. Shotgun. He's going to have 2 receivers, 1 on each side. And low snap. He's going to bobble the snap. He's going to fire deep. He has him. Almost caught. He had to step on him. He was looking for his go-to right now, the big X receiver, Gavin Montoya.
Montoya, not only did he have the step in front of his defender, who I believe it is Del Pitts over there, I want to say. Not only did he have the step, but he also has the height advantage, which sometimes it's not even necessarily a matter of who can go up higher. It's just a matter of who's taller, which doesn't play to Del Pitts' advantage. I know Del Pitts has the wheels. It's just a matter of, can he defend someone as large as Gavin Montoya?
Marilat going to drop back again. He's going to throw another bomb. That's how they're intercepted and dropped. Will they mark it as a drop or a catch and fumble?
They'll mark it as an incompletion, looks like.
Not sure what happened. Marilat just kind of lofted it too high there.
I think, honestly, it took us by surprise, too. Funny enough, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell who it was number-wise from over here as to who bobbled and then dropped it. But I do appreciate how Frederick stepping up, able to read the play easily. It was a pretty easy pick, honestly, so not sure why we didn't have it. We should have.
Would have been huge. We could be close to field goal range with Cahoon as well.
That was
Could've
what I
put
was thinking
another 3
about.
on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bigfoot Cahoon.
I mean, Cahoon's got quite the leg.
And timeout Broomfield. They're going to think about what they're going to do with 4 seconds left.
4 seconds, they're either going to finally be content with, the separation of 10 points, so 2 scores, or they're going to do what they've been doing this entire drive and just decide to loft it up and pray for the best.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Line X of Boulder. Whether it's protecting your truck bed, adding accessories, or making your vehicle adventure ready, Line X of Boulder has you covered. We're proud to have them as a partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Line X of Boulder, tough, durable, and built for life.
It's 4 seconds.
Marilat going to go in the pistol, has a man back there with him. I believe that's Khalil Benner. We'll see. Wouldn't be surprised if they just hand it off, and that's what they will do. Benner has some room. Benner makes a cut. Benner has a lot of room on that right sideline. Track race, and he's brought down by the heels. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous play to end the half.
Benner, nasty separation. Oh my goodness. I was a little shell-shocked about how many times he was able to juke around our defense. It was pretty significant, and as you said, Dante, that was dangerous. That could have resulted in something pretty bad, honestly. We've already seen some significant plays, especially in short times. Time isn't a problem for Broomfield. It's just the separation that they get from the Golden Eagles defense.
As Golden Eagles are in a defensive battle to end the first half, as we'll be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Hey, Kyle Michael here with Michael Real Estate and RE/MAX Momentum, and I'm here at my office in downtown Frederick, Colorado. As a Colorado native and a resident to Frederick over the last 8 years, we truly understand the entire Carbon Valley and Colorado market. With offices in Frederick, Brighton, and Westminster, I cover the entire Front Range area. I've served over 130 families from Alt to Monument to Deer Trail to Grand Lake. As a small business owner myself, I understand how much time and effort it takes to be successful, which is why I continue to support local businesses, schools, and nonprofits through our Sip and Support series, coat drives, and other events. I value hardworking individuals. It is my mission to
You've likely heard in the news that interest rates are way too high, homes are just not selling, and the real estate market is about to crash at any moment. Hi, I'm Kendra Badgekar, your local real estate expert, and I've been serving Carbon Valley and Northern Colorado for over 7 years, and I've got some good news. The truth is, there are several creative finance options to get your interest rate down to a much lower rate if you're thinking about buying a home. And yes, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, but with the right marketing strategy, they are still selling for a great value, so your equity is safe. If you're thinking about making a move this year, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about the best way to get you there.
Hey, Kyle Michael here with Michael Real Estate and RE/MAX Momentum, and I'm here at my office in downtown Frederick, Colorado. As a Colorado native and a resident to Frederick over the last 8 years, we truly understand the entire Carbon Valley and Colorado market. With offices in Frederick, Brighton, and Westminster, I cover the entire Front Range area. I've served over 130 families from Alt to Monument to Deer Trail to Grand Lake. As a small business owner myself, I understand how much time and effort it takes to be successful, which is why I continue to support local businesses, schools, and nonprofits through our Sip and Support series, coat drives, and other events. I value hardworking individuals. It is my mission to continue giving back as much as I can. We would love to serve you or your family. Give us a call, 303-944-4191, and go Golden Eagles.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Coach Matt Loyd. I'm the head football coach at Frederick High School. You're watching the Golden Eagle Broadcasting Network. Golden Eagles, let them fly.
You've likely heard in the news that interest rates are way too high, homes are just not selling, and the real estate market is about to crash at any moment. Hi, I'm Kendra Badgekar, your local real estate expert, and I've been serving Carvin Valley and Northern Colorado for over 7 years, and I've got some good news. The truth is, there are several creative finance options to get your interest rate down to a much lower rate if you're thinking about buying a home. And yes, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, but with the right marketing strategy, they are still selling for a great value, so your equity is safe. If you're thinking about making a move this year, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about the best way to get you there.
Hey, I'm Jake Marsing, social studies teacher and advisor of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, and you're watching GEBN. Go Golden Eagles!
Hey, Kyle Michael here with Michael Real Estate and RE/MAX Momentum, and I'm here at my office in downtown Frederick, Colorado. As a Colorado native and a resident to Frederick over the last 8 years, we truly understand the entire Carbon Valley and Colorado market. With offices in Frederick, Brighton, and Westminster, I covered the entire Front Range area. I've served over 130 families from Alt to Monument to Deer Trail to Grand Lake. As a small business owner myself, I understand how much time and effort it takes to be successful, which is why I continue to support local businesses, schools, and nonprofits through our Sip and Support series, coat drives, and other events. I value hardworking individuals. It is my mission to continue giving back as much as I can. We would love to serve you or your family. Give us a call, 303-944-4191, and go Golden Eagles.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Coach Matt Loyd. I'm the head football coach at Frederick High School. You're watching the Golden Eagle Broadcasting Network. Golden Eagles, let them fly.
You've likely heard in the news that interest rates are way too high, homes are just not selling, and the real estate market is about to crash at any moment. Hi, I'm Kendra Badgekar, your local real estate expert, and I've been serving Carvin Valley and Northern Colorado for over 7 years, and I've got some good news. The truth is, there are several creative finance options to get your interest rate down to a much lower rate if you're thinking about buying a home. And yes, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, but with the right marketing strategy, they are still selling for a great value, so your equity is safe. If you're thinking about making a move this year, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about the best way to get you there.
Hey, I'm Jake Marsing, social studies teacher and advisor of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, and you're watching GEBN. Go Golden Eagles!
Hey, Kyle Michael here with Michael Real Estate and Remax Momentum, and I'm here at my office in downtown Frederick, Colorado. As a Colorado native and a resident to Frederick over the last 8 years, we truly understand the entire Carbon Valley and Colorado market. With offices in Frederick, Brighton, and Westminster, I cover the entire Front Range area. I've served over 130 families from Alt to Monument to Deer Trail to Grand Lake. As a small business owner myself, I understand how much time and effort it takes to be successful, which is why I continue to support local businesses, schools, and nonprofits through our Sip and Support series, coat drives, and other events. I value hardworking individuals. It is my mission to continue giving back as much as I can. We would love to serve you or your family. Give us a call, 303-944-4191, and go Golden Eagles.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Coach Matt Loyd. I'm the head football coach at Frederick High School. You're watching the Golden Eagle Broadcasting Network. Golden Eagles, let them fly.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name's Dante Lechuga, alongside here with one of the greatest commentators in GBN history, Carly Evans.
Wow, thank you, Dante. I'm flattered.
Still haven't gotten my award, Carly. Still
It's okay. Your time will come. Your time will come.
My time will. Right, Marcy? My time will come for award.
Time is now.
I like that. As your Golden Eagles are down 16-6, down 2 scores.
But
do
honestly,
they get the ball back? I low-key forgot. I'm not gonna lie.
I believe they will because I think we got the first look at Broomfield first. I want to say.
That's right. So Golden Eagles will receive.
Also, we do have a roster correction. We have been calling Khalil Benner number 10. Looks like they had a switch. Number 10 is actually going to be Cash Clairvaux.
Our apologies. The roster
The roster
Benner.
said different.
So shout out to Khalil Benner. But that wasn't you the whole time.
Yes, exactly. But hey, you know what? He got some good coverage here, even though it wasn't him.
So, Carl, I'm really interested to see if the Golden Eagles come out and try some misdirection, some direct snaps still, or if they try to get a little less cute with it and start maybe throwing the ball, some slant routes. What are you thinking?
Honestly, I feel like they've been a little too cute recently. I feel like we've seen a little bit of tutu action. And we need to see a little bit more of clawing our way back into this game. I feel it's been frustrating, honestly, watching them. You know, they haven't really been able to do much of anything, and that's been frustrating. Also, Dante, you have my dad's vote for the award. You have my dad's vote.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Evans.
Yeah, but Dante, you kind of put it nicely. That whole cutesy mindset, almost.
Cutesy, yeah, absolutely.
We haven't really seen a lot of aggression. We've seen a lot of these. We're going to kind of refrain from putting 100% in. We've almost seen 50%. I'd go halfway. And I think on that last drive with Preston, we kind of talked about that before half, but we saw a little bit of his potential. And I feel like instead of just glimpses, we kind of caught the true nature of how he plays, and I really appreciated that, honestly. You know, the coaches just kind of let him do his thing. And I think the drive, although it wasn't necessarily what they wanted it to pay off with, they definitely still capitalized on it point-wise.
And Carly, it's cool to get a little cutesy every once in a while, but right that first half, it was almost every other play. We were trying some sort of trickery, and I would really like to see us keep it a lot stricter this half, a lot less confusing trickery plays.
100%. I feel like, you know, I appreciated the trickery. I appreciated what they were trying to do, but it fell flat in the grand scheme of things. It just felt like it wasn't enough, honestly. Broomfield, you could even tell they almost took that cute route too toward the end of the half, but I feel like they have enough separation right now to where they can take that route. We're doing it, I feel like, because that's the only thing we know right now. And it's frustrating as a Frederick fan to kind of watch it and be like, I know you're not putting in your full potential. You're being leashed back, and I want to see them chunk it deep. I want to see them throwing a few more balls up in the air, because I feel like we haven't seen enough of that, and it's just been a lot of keep it on the ground, don't risk anything. We're not going to do anything crazy. We need to see some more action from Frederick. It's been very much deadpan, not going to do anything crazy.
I agree, Carly. That's what we got to do. I really want to see us keep it simple this half.
Yes, just clean, straight cut football. And that's not what we've seen.
Your CU Buffaloes, I believe, are down 13-10 right now.
13-10?
13-10, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if Georgia Tech is running the football all over them as well.
I bet. I can almost guarantee it.
Broomfield's set to kick off. We'll see if Del Pitts gets his first shot returning tonight. Both kicks have gone through the end zone, or all of the kicks, not both.
And another big thing, let Del Pitts get the ball. We have not heard his name enough. That'll result in a touchback. But yeah, as I was saying, we haven't heard his name enough, I feel like. And whenever we have heard it, it's been these low-impact things where he's been swallowed up at the line, or you've seen these frustration plays where he's been able to obviously keep possession of it, and he's been able to secure catches, but they haven't paid off for anything yardage-wise. So his completion rate may be pretty solid, but yardage-wise, we're not really looking at much of anything.
Here comes Kissinger. His first start of his career has been going pretty well, actually. Wouldn't be shocked if he has around 40 rushing yards right now. Kissinger. under center. It's going to be a sweep, and that once again will go nowhere. These sweeps have been met right at the line just about every time. Can't quite tell who that was. I think that was Salazar or Del Pitts. Maybe it was Del Pitts. Just another sweep that has nothing doing.
Well, and I mean, one of the biggest things, obviously, whenever you're talking about trying to get your offense going, one of the key things that you'll hear people talk about is that whole you got to get your run game going before anything, which it really hasn't been doing much of anything. But for the offense to really make an impact, they do have to start chugging along a little bit more. So far, it's been chugga chugga poo poo. We've gone backwards.
Kissinger shotgun, direct snap. That's going to be a reverse, another little trickery play. Once again, they're disagreeing with how we see the game, Carly. Going right back to the cute stuff.
Yeah, it's not paying off. This is literally the exact same thing that we saw right before half. We're sitting in the exact same boat that we were before half, sitting at 3rd and long, 3rd and 14. So like I said, they reeled backwards on that second down. 3rd down, literally no yardage gained. Just literally stopped at the line of scrimmage. And right now I feel like it's just an insult to Broomfield. They know what we're going to call. It's been the same 3 plays.
Kissinger, shotgun, drops back. Right side bubble screen is caught. Won't be enough for the first down. They'll gain a couple of yards.
There is a flag on the
Del
play.
Pitts, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see. That'll give the Golden Eagles a first down.
Nifty little one-handed snag from Del Pitts.
That's what we saw a lot from Del Pitts last year when we threw the ball a lot more. Right now, we just haven't done that yet.
And I feel like, you know, even whenever we do throw it, it's been these, back to that word again, this has been the word of the night, but cute. And not cute in a good way. It's almost a negative connotation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 3rd and 14. Or 4th, excuse me. Golden Eagles are going to have to punt this ball away. Marilat and this Broomfield offense will take over, potentially making this a 3-score lead here for the Broomfield Eagles. And with a 3-score lead with the run-heavy offense, it's going to be really tough to come back if you're the Golden Eagles. Cahoon's punt is up and away. Another short punt, but it takes a really good bounce. Will roll all the way out to the 38-yard line. And Frederick will down it. And Frederick's first offense is a 3-and-out. First offensive drive is a 3-and-out.
Yeah, so exactly what we saw before half. Same look, nothing's been adjusted, which I do find interesting because I feel like with the progression of what was going on during that first half, that entire first half, it was just a struggle on offense. Defense, they did a decent enough job of kind of keeping Broomfield back from unloading the chambers, but it's one of those where at this point, it's really hard to say if the defense can keep up whenever they're playing so much.
Marilat's going to hand it off to Cash up the middle. That'll pick up a couple, I believe a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 here for the Broomfield Eagles.
The difficult thing is when Broomfield runs the ball, they almost have this, they don't need a sense of urgency, if that makes sense, because they do have such a comfortable lead over your Frederick Golden Eagles that it's one of those where, you know, if the play only goes for a few yards, it's not going to kill them inside. It's not going to make anything crazy happen in this game. No pendulum is going to swing. I mean, even now, sitting at a 3rd and 6, they really don't have a lot of urgency to them, which can play both good and bad. Because it's one of those where if Frederick does, you know, step up on defense, they stop him. It's one of those where I can understand where that lack of urgency can almost bite them. But right now, it really hasn't.
Broomfield, 3rd and 9. Marilat's going to roll to his left. He fires, looking deep, and almost caught. Once again, he has been looking for his man Gavin Montoya downfield all night.
Montoya.
Great coverage by the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Montoya cut inside. Tried to find a little bit of separation, but as Dante put it, nice man-to-man coverage. Was completely all over Montoya. It was dangerously close, though, to being a completion, which impressive given the fact that there was so much pressure in the backfield. You know, Marilat, you could tell he was feeling it. He launched the ball pretty quickly after he saw that he was being pressured in the pocket, but it's one of those where he also, whenever he lobbed it up, it still went to the man that he needed it to, Gavin Montoya.
Punt is up and away, and that'll go out of bounds. It's going to be marked down at the 40. Maybe a little bit shy. Or no, they're going to go way back to the 30. 30-yard line is where this Frederick offense will start this drive.
Not awful field position necessarily. It's one of those where you don't, it's one of those where PK has had to go farther before for some of these drives, so makes it a little bit easier on him. But at this point, the Golden Eagles just have to claw their way back into this game. Still trailing by 10, but it's been a significant 10. There's about a little under 9 minutes remaining in this third quarter. The second half already really not showing any glimmers of hope for the Golden Eagles. They really have to step up.
Kissinger, handoff, Del Pitts. Sonny Del Pitts will spin for about 9 or 8 yards. Sonny Del Pitts starting to get a little active.
Yeah, Del Pitts. He's another one of those players where, along with kind of the glimpses that we've seen of PK's running abilities and that mobility piece, Del Pitts isn't that far behind him whenever that comes to that piece. Honestly, maybe even a little bit more significant. And we've seen that this game for sure. Finally, more than a shred of yardage, they're able to make a gain of 8. This will lead to a 2nd and 2. So 2nd and short for your Golden Eagles. Clock still ticking. Ball on the 38, though. They're moving.
Kissinger under center. Bunch formation. We've seen all night. Another toss to Del Pitts. Del Pitts up the middle. Sonny Del Pitts will pick up the first down. Frederick offense starting to pick up a little bit.
Del Pitts pushing the pile, trying to manhandle his way past that line of scrimmage. He was able to do so, too. Gain of a few. This will bring up a first down finally. Something that these Golden Eagles need desperately. Ball now on the 46, so inching their way into Broomfield territory. Del Pitts' fight, that's something that I appreciate, and just watching how he plays. He plays like he's 7 feet tall, and I can really appreciate that. It really kind of shows his dedication to the sport itself. And even on that play, it may be a few yards to some people, but for Del Pitts, it's kind of fight or flight, and he always chooses to fight.
Kissinger's going to go under center once again. Going to motion a man. He's going to go right back to his spot. That's Hoagie. Hoagie gets the toss. Colt Hoagie on offense, pushing his way for a couple of yards. His first carry. I don't know if we've ever seen him get a carry, actually, Carly.
I don't think so either.
That was Hoagie's first carry of his career, actually. He'll pick up a couple.
Hey, good for Hoagie. Good for Hoagie.
He was actually the running back on our 7th grade team when we won the state championship.
Was he? Hoagie's a stocky kid, too.
Very stocky.
He's pretty stocky.
And fast.
Yes. Which is kind of funny because I feel like a lot of people, it's almost like that whole looks are deceiving, because I think a lot of people, you look at the burliness of a player and you almost kind of negate how fast or speedy some of them might be. But Hoagie, he really puts the pedal to the metal. He's a fast kid.
Kissinger, toss, Salazar. Salazar's looking. Salazar, nothing doing. He hasn't seen a lot of space tonight. He'll pick up a yard or two.
No, and the frustration is definitely imminent in all of their faces. You can definitely tell there is that frustration every time that they get up. There's a bit of fighting back, probably some not nice words. This will lead to a 3rd and long. Something that these Golden Eagles need to desperately convert on. I just still feel like there's almost not that sense of urgency, though, which is a little frustrating to see on offense whenever the defense has spent so much time on the field. I understand maybe giving the defense a little bit of breathing room to kind of loosen the necktie, but I also want to see a little bit of pep in their step.
Kissinger's going to take it himself. He'll pick up a big gain. First down and more for the Golden Eagles. Move those chains. Kissinger having himself quite a night on the ground.
Kissinger, we've seen these wheels before turning. This play, no different. I believe he was able to convert, get the first down before finally being dragged out of bounds. I do think it's funny, though. You know, we were talking about, you know, maybe his size isn't necessarily, you know, the biggest player out there, but it's one of those where he kind of makes up for it with how he plays, you know, playing style-wise. With his mobility, it's one of those where, yes, sometimes it is that first man to kind of shoelace tackle him down, but I've seen multiple instances, even in just this game alone, where we've seen this repetitive nature where he's not willing to give up on the first tackle, and he's taken it himself. Dante, as you said earlier, I would probably argue, you know, at least 40 or 45 yards, I'd probably say, so far this game for him.
Kissinger, shotgun. Going to take it himself again. There goes Preston Kissinger. And that play has been quite successful here for the Golden Eagles today. They'll pick up 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up. Golden Eagles still have yet to throw a pass this half. We'll see if they do it right here.
They're taking this drive in bite-sized chunks. It's one of those where, yes, they are making progress, slowly but surely, granted, with about 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. So they are chewing clock, and very effectively, might I say. With these bite-sized chunks, I feel like, Dante, as you put it, we have yet to see a throw this half. I feel like you got to let him air it out a little bit more. You know, sitting at a 2nd and 3, you are in this third quarter and kind of nearing the end of it.
Kissinger. Cameras went out for a second. Not sure what happened. Sorry if there's any technical difficulties. Looks like Kissinger, another keeper, won't go for much. 3rd and 3 here for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, so not much happening there. Almost reeling backwards, which, unfortunate, but definitely manageable still. As Dante, we've seen them consistently with these same plays over and over again. I think they've worn down the defense just enough to where they are making some type of gain yardage-wise, but there is that whole mentality of it still just isn't paying off quite to the ability that I think their running backs want it to.
Toss, Del Pitts breaks the tackle. Sonny Del Pitts makes a cut. Sonny Del Pitts brought down by the legs from behind. He's just short of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal here for the Golden Eagles.
1st and goal, and this is the exact swing of momentum that Frederick needed. Del Pitts bounces around to the outside, finds that left side almost completely wide open. There was pretty much nobody, and he was able to shut off a few defenders. Impressive. As I said, just a testament to Del Pitts' abilities.
Looks like there was a holding on the play. It's going to be brought back. Sonny Del Pitts' big play.
Erased in a moment.
Would have been a huge play. Frederick inching closer to making this a 1-score game.
Excuse us, it was a block in the back, which equally is terrible. Exactly what we don't need in this situation. I mentioned earlier, penalties are the biggest game killer, especially on a crucial play like that.
It's going to be 3rd and 12 here for Kissinger. Wouldn't be shocked if they actually decide to run it here just to shorten the distance, then throw it if they need to. Kissinger under center. Motion. Toss. Salmeron. Salmeron makes a cut up the middle. He'll pick up a couple. Won't nearly be enough. It's going to be 4th and long here for the Golden Eagles. Decision time here for Coach Loyd and the coaching staff.
I feel like I've seen this instant before, which I have. It's happened multiple times this game, where there have been these moments, these crucial third downs, and they've led to, I believe, a first down.
Looks like, yeah, no, they had the thing wrong, the scoreboard wrong. They had 4th and 12. He didn't nearly get 12 yards. Looks like they had that wrong. My apologies. Preston Kissinger under center.
I know, I was like, that was a very short 12 yards.
It's going to be a misdirection once again. That's going to go nowhere. Broomfield's almost waiting for these misdirection plays, which kind of takes away the purpose of a misdirection play. Am I right, Carly?
It really does, and they're biding their time standing there at the line. They know what's happening. It's just a matter of, are we going to take him down now or are we going to take him down later? Because they know what's going to happen. Typically in the backfield, too, which has been unfortunate for Frederick, as this will lead to a second and a loss of 2, so 2nd and 12. Clock still ticking, sitting at about a little over 2 minutes. Still a 10-point deficit between these Golden Eagles and the Broomfield Eagles.
Still third quarter. Got 1 left to go after these 2 minutes. Golden Eagles would really like to score here to make it a 1-score game for this 4th quarter. And whistle on the play as Frederick was motioning. Frederick signaling Broomfield, and it looks like Broomfield was offsides.
So Broomfield kind of caught in the hubbub of the play, able to get someone to move, which is exactly what they were looking for earlier. Didn't get it. Thankfully, this time it'll pay off for the Golden Eagles, this time leading to a 2nd and 7. Clock still ticking, sitting at a little bit below 2 minutes.
Kissinger's going to go in the pistol. They're going to motion left side. He's going to have Salmer on the backfield with him. Kissinger, quarterback run right up the middle, spinning, met by a couple of Eagles. He's going to go nowhere.
Yeah, backpedaling almost, which exactly what these Golden Eagles do not need with now this crucial 3rd down. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6, able to shed off a yard on that play. Kissinger, he's taken it himself quite a few times. We've seen that QB draw play style.
Big 3rd and 6 here for the Golden Eagles. Yet to have thrown the ball still with about a minute left in this 3rd quarter.
I am a little surprised we haven't even seen like a bubble screen or anything. They were very consistent
not
with those during that, or the first half, but we just haven't seen anything. It's just been run after run after run.
Another flip. They're going to act like it went over his head again, but it does this time. Kissinger is going to have to take a big loss. They tried to do same play where they act like it goes over their head, and it actually did go over their head this time.
So a bit of deception actually deceives Preston Kissinger. Not quite what they were looking for play-wise.
And it's going to be 4th and forever. I'm sure Frederick will just wait to let this 3rd quarter run out.
Yeah, just let this time tick down.
Maybe not. They're going to try to kick a field goal with 2 seconds left. I'm not. Okay. Not sure what the thought was there. Looks like coming back in the 4th quarter, we'll have Cahoon kicking a field goal, as we'll be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. And welcome back, everybody, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name's Dante Lechuga, alongside here with Carly Evans, as we just wanted to give you guys a sense of what we're going through here tonight. Only outlet in this entire stadium happens to be right next to the bathroom.
Wonderful spot, am I right? I mean, we have a water fountain. I had to help fill some guy's water while we were in the middle of a play. Keeps things interesting, right?
Of course, as Mr. Cahoon's about to kick a field goal here to make it 16-9 potentially. Will be a 1-score game if he pokes this through.
Whew, that's quite the kick.
The lefty kicker's 2 for 2 tonight, the junior. Also plays quarterback. He'll be your starting quarterback next year most likely, as his kick will be short, barely, just by a yard. It'll remain 16-6.
I mean, as I said earlier, Cahoon has quite the leg. It was an impressive feat to kick it that far in the first place. Just barely fell shy, Dante said, by a yard or two. But I feel like that gives us confidence and hope kind of a thing for maybe with a little bit more training distance-wise. I mean, what you said, Cahoon's a junior, correct?
Correct.
I was going to say, maybe next year he might be lethal, maybe as a quarterback-kicker duo. We saw Gavin Ishmael do that a little bit last season where, we didn't really have a kicker necessarily, but he kind of took it upon himself. Did it end great? Not necessarily all the time. There were quite a few where he squib kicked it without even realizing it, but
Right. Well, Frederick actually was blessed with an amazing kicker a couple years back. Luke Dunker, he actually went to Washington State D1. Ever since then,
kicking department's been a
Cahoon-
little
Mr.
questionable.
Cahoon has
but
actually been our best kicker in a while.
he has.
Junior sensation, the lefty. Marilat's going to be back on the field. They score here, Carly. It's going to be really tough for the Golden Eagles to come back. Yet to have scored a touchdown tonight. We're going to have to muster up 3 if they score here.
And there's just this frustration that I'm feeling from both the crowd and I think, the offense and defense, honestly. I feel like the defense is a little frustrated because they haven't seen a lot of progression from the offense. I feel like we've been seeing the exact same thing. It's just been rinse and repeat, which, as we've seen time and time again, the Golden Eagles have proved it doesn't work out for them. Have yet to have seen a toss, even a little lob, even a little bit of something for the second half. So it's been disappointing, I feel like, on offense, just with the amount of progression we've seen. Not to say that they can't necessarily make anything happen. It's just a matter of it has to happen, and it has to happen now.
Absolutely.
And that starts with the defense.
Maybe another turnover like we saw early in the game.
Exactly. If
That'd
not a
be
3
huge.
and out, then a turnover. Specifically, maybe a fumble, maybe a pick. We've already seen quite a few of our cornerbacks kind of get their hands around the ball. Just haven't been able to really do anything with it. Which I do have to say, earlier on, it was hard to tell number-wise who had possession of it. But whenever it was that lob by Marilat that went straight up, pretty much, it was like a present, right? Right into the defender's hands. It was a little frustrating to see him not make the completion. I mean, that is literally gifted to you. Mm-hmm. Even if it takes you by surprise, if the ball's in your hand, you keep it in your hand.
I'd like to see this coach staff come out and send Hoagie on another blitz. He already made one huge play off of a blitz. Let him go make another. He's had a great night tackling so far.
And Hoagie knows exactly where Marilat's blind side is, which, it's kind of hard to pick up on sometimes because, Marilat's pretty shifty in the pocket. But Hoagie's able to read and decipher some of those plays pretty easily. And he is hard to stop right off that line. If he's blitzing, he's blitzing.
That's right. I'm not sure what the holdup is. It might be an official's timeout. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're discussing. I mean, the coaches are very passionate over there. Looking at Loyd and a few of the other coaches, they are fired up right now. You see Lear over there. You see Francis. You see a few of the other coaches. They're passionate with whatever's going on. As we've entered this fourth quarter, this is territory where you have to be risky. I mean, we just haven't seen them be risky. The risks have been, maybe a fourth down completion here and there, where thankfully it was a completion and not a turnover on downs, but it's one of those where I want to see a little bit more aggression entering kind of this final stretch in this game. As Dante, you put it earlier, we have yet to see a touchdown for these Golden Eagles.
And Marilat back on the field. A little confusion still. I'm not sure what the problem is. And refereeing crew
Still out
in the
there.
way, yeah.
This is that was a long pause. I want to say 2.5 minutes, give or take.
And Marilat, shotgun, going to take it himself right up the middle. And He'll be tackled after 3-4 yards. Looks like Broomfield's going to really try to chew the clock here on this possession.
Without a doubt, which kind of falls right as they wanted, I feel like. We saw them, obviously, last season. I feel like it's just going to be rinse and repeat of last season where it's just been this consistent running nature. And they're going to chew this clock to the best of their abilities because with these Golden Eagles down 2 scores, regardless of if this drive eats up a lot of time and then maybe the Golden Eagles get it back within a timely manner, they still have to score again. So the more clock they chew, the better it's going to be.
Merilat's handoff's going to go for about 20 yards. Broomfield's offense is rolling. Second snap gets them all the way out to midfield.
Able to just charge right through the middle of that line. Looks like maybe a timeout.
And there's going to be a player down. Can't quite see who it is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from here. We have pretty much no view of it except for on the monitor right now, a little bit of blocking. We will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
You've likely heard in the news that interest rates are way too high, homes are just not selling, and the real estate market is about to crash at any moment. Hi, I'm Kendra Badgekar, your local real estate expert, and I've been serving Carvin Valley and Northern Colorado for over 7 years, and I've got some good news. The truth is, there are several creative finance options to get your interest rate down to a much lower rate if you're thinking about buying a home. And yes, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, but with the right marketing strategy, they are still selling for a great value, so your equity is safe. If you're thinking about making a move this year, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about the best way to get you there.
Merilat, shotgun, gonna hand it off. Sorry about that, folks. We cut back right when the commercial ended. Play was happening.
As I say, you guys didn't miss much. We just found out who the injured player was. Cordova, number 25. Looks to be all right. He was able to get up and kind of walk up on his own. Clock's still ticking. Second down and 6 yards to go.
Merilat, handoff up the middle. He's going to bounce it out to the right side. He's wrapped up. That was number 6, Eddie Riley. He's been playing varsity football since freshman year at that backer spot.
And this is not the first time that Riley has kind of been almost not necessarily up in front in the play, but I've seen him kind of making moves in that backfield, regardless of, him being on the line and kind of completing those tackles. I've seen him kind of in the backfield, which that's half the battle sometimes.
Merilat handoff up the middle. That won't go for much. Frederick's defense is holding right now.
I think right now they kind of know what's at stake. It'll be a first down for them, but it's one of those where with this first down, there's this sense of urgency where there's a little bit, you have a little under 10 minutes remaining in this game entirely, and they're still throwing, they're still running pretty effectively too. So you have to put an end to this as quickly as possible. If you can't, I hate to say it, but I fear that might be game.
I mean, we need the ball back right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
As you said, a turnover would be ideal. We just really haven't had any glimmers of a turnover since that first half. There were quite a few that first half, but honestly, I feel like there's just been a lot of settling down in the pocket with Merilat. He hasn't been, as precocious almost.
As Merilat is going to hand it off right side off his big right tackle, and that will do them good. First down, move the chains. Clock is ticking, 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in this ball game.
I hate to say it, but I feel like if they can't if they can't put an end to this drive within the next 2 minutes, I think that might be ball game. Which, the implications of that, kind of thinking about it, that's not a great way to start off the season. Looks like ball popped out, though, maybe.
Ball did pop out. It was quite the stick from the Frederick DB. I wasn't quite sure who that was. I didn't catch it.
It looked like Montoya, maybe, who coughed it up.
Looks like they'll mark him down, though. 2nd and 10 here for Marilat. Junior quarterback has had quite the debut.
I mean, he is showing his athleticism pretty impressively, if you ask me.
Marilat handoff, met at the line.
Ooh,
Great
that's
tackle.
gonna get nasty.
That was by Ross, but he got a little frustrated and threw him. Looks like ref is gonna give him a warning.
Yeah.
Eric Ross. Eric Ross, the leading tackler sophomore year, one of the biggest parts of this defense, one of the captains on that defense.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's an asset, but it's one of those, whenever you are one of the team captains, you do have to kind of be more poised and collected than a lot of the other players. We've seen these moments of frustration pop out throughout this game constantly. I mean, the Golden Eagles have not been happy with kind of where they're sitting at right now in this game.
Marilat handoff. Makes one miss, makes another. He is gone. Touchdown, Broomfield Eagles. Making a 3-score lead. And that just might about do it. Frederick's going to have to do a lot to get back into this game.
Forget clawing back. I feel like we're past the clawing stage. This is more so, let's try to drunkenly stupor our way to like the 10-yard line at this point. Like we're pushing it. And I feel like we've been pushing it for the past, half. But more so right now. I feel like the lack of production, or producing, how about that? I feel like the lack of producing any touchdowns has kind of impacted the offense, I think, more than people think. As now it is your Golden Eagles trailing 6-22.
Broomfield looking to make it 23 to add on to that touchdown. Or no, they're going for 2, pardon me. Here's the snap. Run right up the middle, quarterback keeper. Pushing, and looks like the friendly push got him in. Coach Loyd does not look happy. Frederick has 7 minutes to score 3 times.
So honestly, at this point, with the tush push, I don't know. I think that might be game. 6-24. This is a frustrating thing. I feel like every time that the offense has gone out on the field, they've almost stalled out, if you know what I mean. They just couldn't get anything going. There really wasn't anything going for them, quite frankly. They just couldn't find a rhythm. They looked flat. I think right now the best thing that they can do is just kind of try to get anything going on offense, whether that is passing, whether that is running the ball. There's just a sense of defeat from both aspects.
Now we're really going to have to let Mr. Kissinger throw the football.
Yes.
Haven't let him yet. This is the time to let him loose. Have nothing to lose. 24-6. Going to have to let it rip. As Del Pitts is set to return. Still hasn't gotten a chance to return. This Broomfield kicker has quite the leg.
He does.
This Broomfield rowdy crowd's rocking, as they sure do have one big rowdy crowd.
Yes, they do. I know. I was kind of looking at that. I didn't want to obviously mention it too much to give them any smirky satisfaction, but I mean their stands are full.
Squib kick's going to take a really good bounce. Very awkward for Frederick. They're going to fall on it. Got dangerous there for a second. Golden Eagle recovery team was able to jump on it.
Thankfully able to recover. Some of those squibs are a little difficult, honestly. Just recovery-wise. So under 7 minutes now.
Golden Eagles have 6 minutes to come back. or excuse me, 7 minutes.
Give or take a second.
Kissinger under center, bunch formation. Broomfield has been stacking the box all night. Here's the toss. Once again, just isn't going anywhere. We'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 yards. It's going to depend on the spot. It'll be second and long. Golden Eagles got to hustle. Right now, we should be in hurry up.
We should, hypothetically, with that flag being put on the play. This should maybe make things a little bit interesting. As you said, Dante, they've been stacking the box nonstop tonight. That's been their go-to. But stacking the box has worked very effectively. They've been able to – they haven't even necessarily – it hasn't even been their blitzing. I mean, they haven't even blitzed, honestly. They've just put so much pressure on PK in the backfield because I feel like the O-line isn't moving as a unit. They're kind of moving discombobulated right now.
That penalty moves Frederick all the way out to the 50-yard line, so big penalty for them and a first down. Golden Eagles need to capitalize on this, and they have to hurry. Clock ticking. Kissinger, toss. Once again, that is Del Pitts. Broomfield's trying to strip it. He's hanging on. That'll go for a yard. That was Salmron, excuse me. Golden Eagles still not going tempo. 6 minutes left in the game.
I think the most interesting thing when talking to the players, especially those seniors, who this is their last first game, at least for high school ball, and so there are definitely a lot of emotions. I feel like going into this game, especially against a team as stacked with firepower as Broomfield is. There's a lot of emotions.
Kissinger rolling to his left, and he is leveled as he throws that football and is intercepted. Kissinger was smacked in the backfield as he threw that ball.
I mean, leveled was the easiest way to put it. He got sticked pretty hard, I'm not going to lie. I'm impressed, Dante, as we talked about earlier, just his ability to pop up. Pretty impressive. He's definitely a perky quarterback, which is kind of refreshing to see.
And, I like to see that, Carly. Let the kid throw the ball. I mean, he kind of had to throw that. We're down 3 touchdowns. 5 minutes, 45. Broomfield's probably just going to let the clock tick down now. Marilot's going to look like it's going to be a legal motion or false start. Not sure which.
That'll be on the Eagles. I kind of, as you said, PK's been kind of battered around the field a little bit, but it's one of those where, as you said, Dante, just let him play. Let him kind of explore his options, which even with that, there hasn't been a lot of that, which has been frustrating, I'm sure, for him.
Handoff up the middle. He is breaking a ton of tackles all the way for about 9 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6 or 5 here for the Broomfield Eagles. Clock rolling. It's going to be a little above 5 minutes left.
The tackling has been very slippery. Like, sometimes it pays off, but it's one of those where even watching there, it was almost like he was made of rubber. Everything was bouncing off of him. I want to say that was 4 or 5 defenders right through the middle of that field right there. He split right through the A-gap, and there was just – he just, regardless of if there was separation or not, it looked like he didn't even need it. It was just a matter of how many tackles can I shed?
With the timeout on the play, I'd like to shout out LGI Homes for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by LGI Homes. They don't just build houses, they build homes. Why rent when you can own? Visit their Hidden Creek community off Ridgeway Boulevard in Frederick for affordable move-in ready homes from the $400 with kitchen appliances included at no extra cost. LGI Homes is so proud to support the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network and our local schools. LGI Homes, making the dream of ownership possible.
So a little over 5 minutes remaining in this game. And Dante, they are now trailing by 3 scores.
We got about 5 minutes left to do something. Maybe an all-out blitz. We need to get something going, Carly. Marilat, shotgun, going to motion his man. Another handoff. Right side. Breaks a tackle, still going. It's going to take a couple of Golden Eagles to bring him down.
There was a flag, I believe, on the play. Not sure what the refs are conversing about. But as I said, the tackling has been slippery, which is kind of odd, honestly.
And that'll back Broomfield up, so take away all that yardage. And it'll stop the clock, or maybe not. Clock's rolling, actually. 5 minutes left. Marilat gonna motion. Handoff, right side. Great tackle by that Golden Eagle defense. I believe, can't quite see who that was. Golden Eagle defense is posturing right now.
I want to say that was number 45, Isaiah Basemore. Regardless, though, of who it was, I'm glad it wasn't a soft tackle, which is kind of what I was talking about just prior to that play. That whole kind of soft, messy tackling where after that first hit, you kind of just give up. You know what I mean? You flop, and you don't necessarily complete it. So good to see a solid wrap-up.
Marilat's going to throw. He has his man. That is caught, making a move and brought down is the main target of that Broomfield offense, Sean Newton. He has been all over the field tonight offensively.
Yeah, both Newton and Gavin Montoya, both of them have been consistently threats for this Golden Eagle defense, especially in the middle of that field. They've been able to find that separation. And sometimes I think with that middle of the field, it does get kind of congested, if you will. And things get kind of lost in translation, lost in the traffic in the middle of that field with so much going on.
Marilat going to roll to his left. He fires, has his man. Will go in and out of the hands. That's the big tight end, number 89, Caleb Dunn. The big target, one of the best tight ends you'll see this year on these broadcasts.
Yeah, Caleb Dunn, what an asset he is. And even right there, Dante, I want to say he didn't even have one step. He had 2 steps in front of his man. And that is a big guy to move that fast, too.
That incompletion will stop the clock here for the Golden Eagles. 3.5 minutes left. Broomfield's being aggressive right now, though. Handoff. Once again, that Broomfield line is going to push him forward close to the sticks. It'll probably be about 2nd and 3 here for the Broomfield Eagles.
I'm a little surprised, honestly, if I must, about the aggressiveness that Broomfield is deciding to take, because at this point, it's not even just a comfortable lead. It's honestly where you could like grab a pillow and a blanket and fall asleep on the field and they'd probably still win. And so with less than 3 minutes now, Broomfield, you have a very comfortable gap. You don't have to do anything crazy, which I totally get if they're trying to match the cuteness of what our Golden Eagles were trying to do that first half.
And Broomfield's going to take a timeout. And with that, we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Dante Lechuga. I'm alongside here with Carly Evans. Broomfield offense, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this ball game.
Yeah, and honestly, for those of you who are in the chat, I completely apologize, too, for, the shaky camera work. We've had some technical difficulties tonight, so I appreciate those of you who are being cognizant of that.
As Marilat's going to fire right side. It's an out route. It is caught. DeJus Waldo in coverage. Great throw and catch there.
100% DeJus Waldo, no different from what we've seen previously. And I talked with him pregame, too. I got the chance to talk with quite a few of the players, which is kind of an honor. But talking to DeJus Waldo, he was extremely confident in his own personal abilities and what the team had to offer. When I kind of chatted with him a little bit about PK, he said that he was ready.
Marilat in the pistol. He's going to toss it. Left side misdirection. Met by a flock of Eagles. Looks like Frederick defender took a shot to the gut.
Probably not the most pleasant sensation to get pummeled in the stomach area.
Looks like that was Riley. He looks like he's okay. This Broomfield offense has just been unstoppable. Frederick defense can't seem to find a way to stop him. As clock is ticking, it's going to be 2 minutes left here. Marilat's going to go in the same formation. Motion, Marilat's going to roll right. He's going to fire right side. That is caught. Broomfield offense is looking to run up the score right now with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, able to snag it in traffic. Impressive little snag right there. And then tiptoed right along that sideline before finally being pushed out. Dante, you put it quite nicely. They're just running up the score. I mean, probably for the liveliness of competitiveness. And both for the spirit of the game, I guess. It does get to a point where there is almost a sense of respect between the two teams. Just based off of the environment here, though, there hasn't been a lot of mutual respect, honestly, which I do find interesting because I wouldn't necessarily consider Broomfield to be one of the, rival competitors that we have.
And Broomfield is going to score a touchdown with 1:20 left in this game, and that will do it. That bumps it up to 30-6. Here comes the 2-point conversion to make 32.
This is not the way that Frederick wanted to start this season by any means. I mean, I feel like the confidence has just been almost like this balloon, and I feel like I'm slowly watching it deflate. Honestly, it's been deflating, though, since probably the end of the first half. Broomfield, they just seem to be a lot more physical of a team. They're more willing to take the risks. And I feel like, honestly, they've been showing that they have more confidence in Marilat. So I feel like the real way that the Frederick coaching team can kind of, I feel like the real way to step up right now, even with, a minute and a half left, you can't do much. But it's one of those where just let them get reps at this point, because practice and this is a huge difference. So just getting those reps in right now while you still can, sometimes it pays off a little bit more than you think, just experience-wise. Sometimes it's not even necessarily about the scoring. It's just the whole experience of it all.
And with 1:20 left, I'm sure Frederick might even just take a kneel here to finish off this ball game. Golden Eagles are going to fall to 0-1. But after this, there's a couple of games I believe they should definitely win. I think Meade, rivalry game coming up, Carly. I think we should definitely win that game.
That'll be a fun game. I am so excited for that game.
I really am.
I am
favorite game to commentate all year for sure.
100%. I am so pumped about that game. I think more than anything, I feel like it's just the atmosphere behind the game itself. There's so much hype. And Meade is one of those where it's a pretty big rivalry. And I think that definitely contributes to the atmosphere piece.
Del Pitts back to return once again. That's going to take a bounce right into Hoagie's hands. Hoagie's going to go to that right side. He's pushed out of bounds.
Able to flesh out a little bit of something. But as per usual tonight, falls flat. It's been just one defeat after another whenever it comes to trying to do anything on offense. As already the Frederick stands are starting to kind of file out.
Clear out, beat the traffic.
Which,
hate to say it, man.
Yeah.
1:20 left here.
Which,
Kissinger.
if you even look, I mean, Broomfield, most of them have cleared out probably to storm the field maybe. Or just left, honestly.
And Golden Eagles, we've seen this a lot the past couple years. Take a loss early in the year and just bounce back from it, as here's a big run from Kissinger, adding to his big rushing day.
I was going to say, if anything, you do have the solidarity and almost like the comfort of knowing that Kissinger is not afraid to just take it himself, which is something that a lot of quarterbacks shy away from. A lot of them get a little antsy at the feeling of being hit. Obviously, they know what's going to happen, but some of them are just prone to that antsy behavior, and Kissinger, as we've said multiple times, he has not shied away from the challenge of taking it himself and the mobility behind his abilities.
Kissinger's going to throw one deep. That'll be into the dirt, but it's going to be a PI on Broomfield. But back to what I was saying, Carly, the last couple of years, I believe we've lost the first game of the year just about every time, but we've always bounced back. Last year, we actually lost to Broomfield 44-20, I believe.
Yep, that was rough.
And then went on a little winning streak and ended up making a little run in the playoffs. So Golden Eagle fans should not be worried. This team is known to bounce back. So.
No, 100%. I completely agree. Funny enough, the guy's name was Dino Nesseldeck, who got the pass interference call. Quite
Dino
the name.
Nesseldeck. That might be the name of the year.
That is, honestly. We had some good ones last season, I feel like.
We really did. Which game was that, Carly?
I can't remember which game it was.
I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
feel like it was towards the end of the season. I don't think it was the beginning, but I remember there was like a roster of just the most interesting last names I've ever heard. I was a fan of it, okay? I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Frederick's offense will be at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, a little over a minute. And I think right now, as I said, just that whole rep mentality of try to get what you can when you can, especially whenever you have no pressure. Right now, there's no pressure necessarily. Obviously, they might be a little saddened, I guess one could say, by what's happening in this game. But Dante, as you put it, they have a tendency to bounce back.
Absolutely. And the little last people of the Golden Eagle Red crowd trying to make some noise. And I'm not sure what's going on. There's been a couple of moments where it's just referees
I wonder if
have
it's
gotten
been ball
involved.
misplacement or something. I don't know. Because it's been
Loyd?
consistent.
Coach Loyd seems a little upset. He's having a word with the officials.
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
not
it's
sure
something
what
with the line
problem is.
judges.
Minute left. It can't be something too serious.
I hope not. I mean, Loyd seems fired up, whatever it is. But hey, it doesn't take much to get Loyd fired up. Nothing bad about it.
Tend to see Coach Loyd get fired. Yeah, and he does seem a little upset, but now he seems all right. Looks like whatever was wrong was corrected. And be sure to tune in on our next broadcast up at Meade.
That one is going to be fun, as we've reiterated multiple times. I am very excited for that.
Absolutely. Hopefully will be game of the week like it has the last 2 years. Golden Eagles will definitely make a comeback, bounce back game.
Yeah, Dante, even kind of talking about the atmosphere, there's just almost this sense of unfriendliness, which you can appreciate the spirit of the game, right? You can appreciate the understanding of like the whole, someone wins, someone goes home and warms the buses, which is never fun, especially whenever you're on the losing side. But
Of course.
I don't know, the atmosphere's been a little hostile, honestly.
PK going to take it himself, looking for that end zone. He's going to be tackled shy. Minute left, why not? Get on the board.
Yeah, might as well, honestly. As I said, there's no pressure necessarily. They're going to take their sweet time setting up, kind of doing what they want.
Kissinger, another keeper. Preston Kissinger is short.
I believe by only a yard or two.
Maybe they'll give Kissinger one more carry, try to get his first touchdown.
2nd and 1. So 2nd and goal, about a yard to go.
Second and goal, Kissinger. Shotgun. Another keeper, Kissinger up the middle. He'll be in. Preston Kissinger, touchdown. His first of the year.
If anything, this should give you a little bit of a little bit of hope, right? You have at least a touchdown on the board, which is better than none, quite frankly. But hey, we'll take the inches that we get. We haven't gotten a mile this game, but that's okay.
And Cahoon will look to make it 31-13.
Oof, that doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Not at all, and he will poke it through. Maybe there's still hope, Carly. Maybe we get an onside kick right here.
21 seconds. You know what, Dante? I like that mentality.
Gotta have a winning mentality. It's not over until we win.
It's true. I was going to say, until that clock hits 0, they're going to keep trying.
Golden Eagles will start off the season 0-1. A lot of football games left to be played. I believe there's 9 more games. And Golden Eagles should definitely, I believe this team is 100% an 8-win team, minimum.
Without a doubt, I was going to say, today in class we were talking about the whole over-under thing. And my bet was kind of on, 7 or 8 games.
I think 7.5 is definitely the money line. I would say 8 is definitely where I think they should most definitely be at. So I hit the over. You know me. I'm a big believer in this football team.
And I mean, what's not to believe with this football team? Regardless of the outcome of today, there is still kind of those glimmers of hope that we did see whenever you kind of let Kissinger do his own thing. Whenever he's off that short leash, he can kind of he can let loose, I guess. There just wasn't a lot of opportunities for him to, quote unquote, let loose this game.
And Cahoon's onside kick will be fielded by the Broomfield Eagles, and that will do it. Marilat will come out and just knee the ball, and your Golden Eagles will start the season 0-1. Golden Eagles put up a decent fight throughout the game. This is the defending state champions, and to be honest, I could most definitely see this team in the Final Four again. This team is a legit football team, Carly.
Yeah, legit is an understatement. They are quite the threat. And honestly, it didn't matter offensively or defensively. They are just all around a very well-rounded team.
And Marilat will knee it. And that is it, folks. Your Golden Eagles fall 31-13. Broomfield Eagles will start the year 1-0. As Kissinger's debut doesn't go quite the way we wanted, but Kissinger himself actually had a great game rushing. As we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. And welcome back, everybody, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Dante Lechuga. I've been alongside here with Carly Evans. As you guys know, your Golden Eagles will fall 31-13 in tonight's showdown with Broomfield. Carly, what did you see tonight?
As I said previously before that ad break, I really enjoyed getting to kind of see the potential of the team. I feel like it wasn't necessarily executed the best tonight. We did talk about, though, there is the whole aspect that these are reigning state champs from last season. So there is that whole mentality that obviously we knew that they were going to bring their A game. We knew that they were going to play to the best of their abilities, especially based on how last season went with Frederick against this Broomfield Eagles team, as we mentioned earlier, falling 20-44, quite the oomph moment. This time, honestly, not as much of an oomph moment, I guess, if you will. 31-13. could be worse. Towards the end, there was that whole little touchdown drive where I felt like they started to finally string things together almost. But regardless, I enjoyed getting to see the potential.
Well said, Carly. As tonight's broadcast of football between the Broomfield Eagles and your Frederick Golden Eagles have been brought to you by a talented crew of students here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I've been senior Dante Lechuga alongside the executive producer GBN senior Carly Evans. Our camera operators have been junior Ethan DeLear and freshman Izzy Biodrowski. Our production assistants tonight have been the advisor GBN, Mr. Marsing. The third member of our team down the sidelines is our associate producer Ian McKendry. For everyone at FHS, I'm Dante Lechuga.